Okay, in this video I want to talk about trend lines and why I prefer them over horizontal support and resistance lines. Every trader needs to find its own way to success. There are many ways. You can trade horizontal support and resistance lines, you can trade trend lines, you can trade with indicators, whatever you want, okay? For me, and that was the single most important factor to my trading and that improved my trading, was simplicity. To make trading deadly simple, okay? To bring simplicity to my trading. And trend lines did that to my trading. If we look at this price action here, to show you a practical example, we see Tesla on the 4-hour time frame. And if we just pick out we're just gonna pick out a part of the price action. Let's say we're gonna focus on this part of the price action. You can clearly see that we have a sideways move here on the 4-hour on Tesla, okay? If we decide now to trade this part of the price action, if we want to draw horizontal support and resistance lines, we're going to find the ones that are significant to the price action. And just by a sheer eye test, I would identify those 4 levels, okay? It took me 10 seconds to identify just by an eye test those 4 levels. And price is bouncing between those 4 horizontal support and resistance levels or lines or whatever you want to call them. Price is bouncing in between them, sometimes turning support into resistance, resistance into support, okay? And we can trade the sideways movement. When we look at the distance, if we would trade from one level to the next, we would have about 7%, okay? Those are significant trades, okay? Don't get me wrong, significant trades, 6%, 6%, 6%. Yeah. This came here. Here we go. Okay. So we can trade it with horizontal support and resistance. Or what we could also do, we could use trend lines. And if I would draw a trend line, and I do it in red, that you see it more clear, I'm going to duplicate this one, and I'm going to add one here. We have 2 trend lines versus 4 horizontal support and resistance lines. We maybe miss out on this first part of the price action, but from here on, from this rejected level right here, where this resistance and price rotates back to support of the lower trend line, we can see that the trend is drifting to the upside. Higher lows, higher highs. And this is the price action we can trade. This is exactly what we can trade with just 2 trend lines. And when we look now at the magnitude of the trades, we have 13%, we have 8%. I'm not going to do it to the pip, but you know, you get the drill. 12%, 9%, okay? Versus on average the 6% if we are trying to catch those bounces in between those 4 horizontal support and resistance lines. So the big advantage is my chart is less cluttered. I have a clear overview. Okay, 2 trend lines versus 4 support and resistance lines. And what I also have is I trade automatically with the trend. Okay. You can put a monkey in front of the chart and the monkey would see that those trend lines go from the left bottom of the chart to the right top. Price is trending to the upside. And trading with the trend increases the odds of my trade being right. And this is what I do in trading. I'm constantly trying to increase the odds of my trade being right. Okay. The person that actually brought me to trend lines and focusing on trend lines was Will Hunting. One of the true goats of trading, in my opinion. Check out his forum posts, check out his videos. I did not have the honor to work with him directly, but Will Hunting is the goat, okay? Also when it comes to trend lines. There's tons of free material out there, you can dig deep. And he said the sentence, and that really sticks with me to this day. He said the sentence that or like a variation of that sentence. Yeah, don't nail me down on this. But he said trend lines are less discretionary than horizontal support and resistance lines. And this is what I want. I want the least amount, or I want to, let's phrase it different, I want to minimize the discretionary part in my trading. Because here I need to be right for 4 different individual horizontal support and resistance lines. Here I can just connect the dots for this up moving channel. I don't even need to do it with individual lines. I can also just in trading view right here, I can basically also just draw such a channel. I even have a mid-range. Yeah, I even have a mid-range, and we can see if we zoom a little bit more in here on the 2 hour. Let's zoom a little bit more in and let's get rid of the horizontal levels here. Can even see how price reacts and respects the mid-level. Okay. So for me, that was a turning point in my trading. I'm trading, let's say 98% based on trend lines. Whoever tells you that trend lines don't work, I can tell you, and I'm doing this for years now, I can tell you, for me, they work. And obviously, I look at major higher time frame. When I do top-down analysis, I'm looking at major higher time frame support and resistance levels, but my trading decisions are usually based the majority of the time on trend line support and resistance reactions. Okay, so that was just to give you an idea, or to stimulate your thought process if you think about trend lines versus horizontal support and resistance lines. As I already said, there are many ways to success in trading. Maybe this video helps you to think about it. This is no financial advice. It's just my opinion about the market and how I trade. And I wish you happy trading. Thank you, and see you in one of the next videos.